Stellar Bay. Only place on the planet that don't stink of sulfur. On account of it stinking like fish instead.
You reckon a smell ever goes away? Maybe the wind on the sea helps.
I'll fix you right up!
Perfection! Careful. Only things you'll find in the ruins are liable to shoot you or... That's the last of them.
Nice work!
I am a Thor! What do you think of the unreliable Parvati?
There's always something to fix, and it's neat working in the Aether. I always took Atmo for granted. Now, if I drill through the hole, we'll suffocate. Exciting, you know?
If you'll just listen...
No, no more listening, no more preaching. We are losing people left and right. We need to act.
Enough, Zora. I'm not putting the torch to innocent people. Do you want to bring the board's cruisers and gunships down on us? Captain, apologies, but our situation grows dire. Our people talk of foolish endeavors. What news do you bring? They are armed all the same. All they need is a good reason, and war is one such reason. Excellent.
Did you find the Vanois? Damn. Here's hoping they're still out there.
We're one step closer to bringing the truth to every man, woman, and child in Halcyon. For now, you can tell Hiram that I'll stop using Devil's Peak. From the pits of our eternal souls. Thank you, Captain. I have much to do. Articles to write, sermons to ponder. We live in such an exciting time. Let's talk later.
Sermons? For the love of... I'm going to see to the wounded.
Hold on there. I gotta sign you in.
We've arrived at the Groundbreaker.
Well, ain't that peachy? You enjoy that stamp, you understand? And don't you dare use it responsibly. Anything else? Anytime.
I'm not going anywhere, you hear?
Ah, how might I assist you? Oh my law. You've done it. You've saved my hide. I can't thank you enough. Now then, let me see. I just have to apply the seal here, sign like so, and... ta-da! Here are the forms you'll need once you reach Byzantium. Oh, and a nav key so your ship can travel there. Those authorization forms will let you speak with Sophia when you arrive. I'll send her a message straight away to let her know you're coming. She'll be delighted, I'm sure.
Where you been living, Captain? Under a rock? Miss Sophia's got to be the second most important person in the entire colony.
Yes, quite. Miss Akande is just the person to take someone with your particular talents and sterling character under her wing. She can fill you in on all of the board's operations in the colony, really put your talents to use. Best of luck to you, and thank you again. Give my regards to the Unreliable.
Can't wait to... see what nonsense people waste their bits on in the capital.
Wow. Byzantium. I guess that'll be pretty crowded.
Rizzo sent your one after Taste the Rainbow.
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Not so fast. All right, you're clear.
Nothing exciting ever
The
happens
antigen's
around here.
expecting you. Go on through.
I see you haven't been shot to pieces by the guards. Do you have an appointment? Of course. You're that curious spacer Mr. Bedford mentioned. Just a moment, please. Madam Adjutant, Bedford's contact has arrived. Shall I clear your schedule?
No, thank you, Percival. I doubt this will take long. I'm Sophia Akande, adjutant to the chairman. I've been reading all about you. This dossier from Emerald Vale was especially engrossing. I have a file on everyone. I have a file on Percival here. You wouldn't believe what he gets up to during private hours. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. When you cut off power to Edgewater, you saved me a great deal of trouble. Now I don't have to bother trying to save that town. Anyone with eyes can see that you're talented. But you're also unpredictable. I don't like unpredictable. I have a job for you. One of our cartographers needs to be retired. I want you to carry it out. Rachel Lockwood, cartographer for the Bureau of Exploration. She's done some sensitive work for us, but now she's a loose end. Lockwood has to go. Get rid of her. Bring me her work. Then we'll talk about Dr. Wells.
We're gonna kill somebody without even knowing what they did wrong, if anything?
Keep your associates in line, Captain. I expect them to follow your orders as you follow mine. At the very least, I expect you to do better than the other freelancer. Report back to me when you're finished. We've hired outside contractors before. There's another freelancer working this job, but he's been dragging his heels. Dependable and competent freelancers are hard to come by. For your own sake, I hope you prove to be the exception and not the rule. I'll tell you what I can. It isn't as if we're executing Lockwood for mislabeling a river on a map. It isn't what she's done, but what she knows that forces our hand. The nature of Lockwood's work was sensitive, confidential, and concerns the future of Halcyon. I can't risk leaving her alive. I'm asking you to serve the colony. Silencing Lockwood will save lives and preserve the peace. Deal with Lockwood, and I'll know that I can rely on you. That counts for more than trust. Excellent. Percival will handle your paperwork for you.
Can we talk?
Hey, got a favor to ask you. Next time we're in the Monarch Wilderness, I'd like to stop in on an old friend of mine. Preferably before we get to Hiram's. It's on the way, don't worry. You don't seem the type to run off and get yourself killed, and I could use the help. I'll be upfront with you. I hate asking for help. I hate it. Every time I give someone the opportunity to disappoint me, they seem to make it their most immediate goal. But this, what I'm thinking, it's dangerous. Really? Here I was steeling myself for inevitable rejection. I used to run with a band of hunters. Friends. 6 of us. We were on Monarch when the corporations pulled out, and we helped a lot of people pick up the pieces. I haven't seen 2 of them in years, and the rest I know to be dead. I'd like to gather their effects and bury them all in the same places, like the family we once were. First, we go to Hayes. I buried him a ways from our encampment. I need to pay my respects. I'll show you where he rests. He had a medallion in his effects. That's what I'll bring home to Barry. Then we find my 2 lost trackers and bring them home. A long time ago, we built an encampment in one of Monarch's cave systems. Trouble is, a Mantiqueen showed up and kicked us all out. If we can find Rebecca and Anders, they'll know how to lure her out. Then, we kill the bitch and bury everyone's medallions together. Thanks, Cap.
If they'd sent money to Monarch instead of building even one of those homes, I bet we could have rebuilt Stellar Bay. The whole damn thing.
Citizens, today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination...
All right, how does this sound?
Welcome. Welcome to the Byzantium office of... Well, hey there. What can I do for you? Damn, fine, you got me. I ain't a receptionist. Truth be told, I'm glad you know. Lying to a stranger weighs heavily on my spirit. I was hired to cross off Ms. Lockwood. Thought I'd pose as her receptionist. Brilliant, right? Thing is, she ain't shown up in ages. So here we are. I'll just tell her I'm the replacement. If she calls me on it, I'll kill her. If she buys it, I'll kill her. Win-win. Ha! Hope you don't mind a bit of competition. May the best receptionist win. Perish the thought. I don't just waltz about murdering who I please. I am a professional. I have got standards. Hey, I tried to convince him to take a vacation. He wasn't hearing it. Some people's work ethic is just too strong for their own good. I'm gonna wait for her to return. Tell you what, you find out where she is, you let me know. Yeah? As a professional courtesy. Then we can both have at it. And whoever kills her better gets the contract. What do you say? Yeah, I'm excited about this. What's on your mind, friend? Knock yourself out. Let me know if you find anything.
I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment. Have a prosperous day.
So, how many times have you...
So the ship talks? Do all ships do that?
I can't say for certain, since I only ever been on this one.
I'm on my legally
She's
allotted
something
break.
special though, ain't she?
I'm supposed to be here.
8.
Resetting threat level. Trespassers terminated.
Get away from me! Were you following me? Back off, all right? I've got a slide rule and I'm not afraid to use it.
Hey, hey, you found her. I'm a little miffed you didn't let me know, but all's well that ends well. Let's get to killing.
What? Killing? What the fuck is going on here?
My friend and I here have jobs to do. You just sit tight for a minute while we discuss how we're gonna handle this. Ah, yeah, look. Reception doesn't pay as well as it used to. Turns out I really need this. I know, I'm a jerk. Hate me if you want. But I gotta take her head in. The contract calls for her maps, yeah? Half the bits for the maps, half for the confirmation of the kill. How's about I take the kill, and you take the maps?
Hold on, okay? Just hear me out. What if...
Will you pipe down? We're trying to have a business meeting here. You must be new to the assassination game. If you talk to your victims, it makes it harder to kill them, see? It's not recommended. Didn't you read the handbook?
Please, just listen. You don't need to...
Shush! Oh, all right. The anticipation is killing me, though. Get it? Because I want to kill her?
Wait. Whatever the contract is, I'll pay you both the full amount. You let me live, and you don't have to split anything.
That's a lot of bits. But, I mean, I've got a reputation to uphold. How would you feel if someone paid you to make bogus maps? Listen, I don't want to beat around the bush. If you're dead set on taking that deal, I'm dead set on taking your life. What a damn shame. I was starting to like you.
Incoming! That's the last of them!
You killed him. Please, just leave me alone. I don't know anything, I swear. You can't be serious. All right. Here. Take the money. Just leave me alone.
I'll sue every technician and employee who... ever touched this damned device. Don't...
on Monarch, relationships ain't usually meant to last. A lot of fools tried to impress me, feigning bravado in the wilds, thinking they'd catch my attention with their stories. It was cute. Not so cute when their act got themselves munched. You know...
Apologies for the wait. I was arranging my stationery. Wonderful. I'll file the appropriate paperwork on your behalf. Meanwhile, Adjutant Akande would like a word with you.
You allowed Rachel Lockwood to walk away with her life. Do you realize the inconvenience you just caused me? I don't recall giving you authority to barter with my reputation. I recall giving you instructions to deal with Lockwood. Leaving her alive complicates matters. But that's now my problem, not yours. And you've brought me Lockwood's papers, as I asked. You've demonstrated your talents. If you're ready to talk about Phineas Wells, I'm prepared to listen. I appreciate that you want to drive a bargain. You understand I'm not paying you for anything less than reliable information. Wells had to be in touch with you somehow. Find his communication terminal and send us a tracing signal. Once I verify his location, I'll arrange for your payment. Good. I look forward to it. Percival will file the appropriate paperwork on your behalf. Once you sent a tracking signal from Wells's lab, we'll move on to the next step.
As instructed, the code for our secure communication channel. On behalf of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, I bid you good day. Oh, just a receipt for your services and my receipt for your receipt, and also a standard declaration of intent to perform espionage. Very routine. I'll see to it personally. I'm flattered beyond description.
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud. I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since, in fact, I've never had a visitor.
Careful, that's my communications terminal.
Dr. Well, you have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you wouldn't go through with it. Your signal made it through. We've pinpointed Dr. Wells's orbital lab. Excellent work. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony. Transmissions are so impersonal. I'd like to meet you face to face.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say, considering she didn't sign off. Will there be anything else, Captain? We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
I'm curious. Wells may have been a delusional madman, but he risked his life to save yours. So why turn him in? Duty is an old-fashioned notion, but it is one I respect. You've done well. You're efficient, talented, loyal. And if you're ready to get to work, we can finally start doing some good in this colony. I'm glad to hear that, because the board's sending you to Monarch. There has been a surge in off-world broadcasting coming from Monarch. Much of it is propaganda. All of it is illegal. We need those broadcasts shut down. All of Monarch's extraplanetary broadcasts are routed through Devil's Peak Station. I want you to claim Devil's Peak Station for the board, by force if need be. Monarch is a den of anarchy and barbarism. Keep your wits about you, and remember that you're doing the law's work. Monarch is a hotbed of anarchists operating under the misguided notion that the colony doesn't need the guiding hand of the board. It may not be a single individual behind these broadcasts, but any number of factions. I have an agent working in Stellar Bay, Everett Gill. Have a word with him as soon as you arrive. The passphrase is, "The kind of pine grows at night." Yes? So what? Look, that's not important. Get to Stellar Bay and find Everett Gill. Speak to Percival before you go. He'll arrange for your reward for turning in Wells.
We're in orbit over Cascadia, Captain.
You ever worry all that ammo in your berth might combust?
What? Wait, that's... It can do that?
All it takes is a little bit of black powder next to a lot of bits of fur. Here they come! That's all right. Where were we? All it takes is a little bit of black powder next to a lot of bits of fertilizer.
Here they come.
All it takes is a little bit of black powder next to a lot of bits of fertilizer and one real hot day, and I've seen it happen.
I don't know what's more unsettling. The concept of my ammunition spontaneously combusting, or the fact that this is the kind of thing you think about on the regular.
I guess this is what Edgewater's gonna look like in a couple of years.
This is wonder if Hiram's home. Just kidding. Guy never sets foot outside.
I wonder how they punch a signal through the gas giant's magnetic field. Can't be easy.
I owe you for bringing the boss man back to us. I owe you for bringing the boss man back to us. I owe you for bringing the boss man back to us.
Thank the architect!
Got a
Bertolt's
problem?
back!
Maybe I can help.
Hey, Mannequin Slayer. Glad you made it in one piece. After all, not everyone's so lucky. Meet my corporate compliance crew. Then check out our weapons locker inside. I reckon you'll find something you like. Then we call it even between us. We were hired to do so. Why else? You did get the memo that we're mercenaries? Our client's a bit unorthodox, sure. He calls himself the broker, and prefers the glow of a terminal to flesh and blood interaction. But I can't fault his work ethic. Our current gig's to stop, by means of lethal force, any creatures exiting the caverns, including but not limited to marauders, iconoclasts, and agents operating for the MSI. Wow, that was a bit presumptuous, don't you think? We were still debating as to whether we're contractually obligated to take out those marauders. And here, you've undercut us. We have an image to uphold. Our services are deservedly expensive. Now, I shall have to pay you so that future clients continue to recognize the value of our work. We'll just say you were a subcontractor. Yes, that'll do. We exercised our finest judgment in hiring you, you know? The corporate model is the oldest and most efficient, not to mention stable structure history has ever shown us. Plus, corporations got certain rights not entailed to individuals. I lead the C3s. Addie covers our payroll and expenditures, Lance handles the human capital, and Donald is our charming public face. Our system works. We've racked up more confirmed kills than any other crew you can hire.
I owe you for bringing the boss man back to us.
Thank the architect!
Got
Bertolt's
a problem? Maybe I can help.
I owe you for bringing the boss man back.
You...
It's the strangest thing. I still can't receive any incoming off-world communications. Architect, have mercy. I should have known you were a shark. The board only employs the most cunning and cutthroat of captains. Wait, don't hurt me. That was an intended compliment, I swear. Here, take this if it will incentivize you to work faster. Allow me to assure you that I know absolutely nothing about any allegedly illegal broadcasts. Surely the board is aware of that. They must know I'd never involved myself in such despicable activities. There's utterly no reason to arrest anyone in this broadcast station, let alone me. In fact, you're doing me a favor by helping me disable any alleged such broadcasts, if they exist. You could do me another favor by mentioning my loyalty to the board in your report.
I don't think this fellow's entirely on the level.
Hiram, you have to be the slimiest, most two-faced man I've ever called a friend.
Oh, you called us friends. I'm not sure whether to be touched or insulted by that. Look, you never met a man more willing to work with the board than me. I know we can come to an agreement, please. Perhaps you didn't notice my robust security detail. An altercation may end poorly for you, but a partnership would pay handsome dividends. We can still work something out. Automex, initiate security protocol. Deals off.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Non?
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself? Oh. I suppose that means you aren't here for the Saltuna. Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
I don't... Dang it, Captain, that's not right. Folks on Monarch shouldn't have to suffer just because the board says so.
Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious. Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Indeed. Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
A lot of good that'll do. They'll just find another reason to turn tail and abandon you.
Not if we secure the proper safeguards first.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
Well, you don't have to rub it in.
I think he means to warn you about working against the board.
What a notion. We want to rejoin the board, to our betterment and theirs. And my plan involves a two-pronged approach, the first part of which is seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. Not long, but the devil is always in the details. And the salient detail here is a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting with the Bolt 52, we won't need to advertise anymore. We can stop our transmissions altogether.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance. In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in, these days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Killed! I think I'm gonna be sick. I clean the apartments while everyone's at work. I've seen all sorts of messes, but this... If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
even Stellar Bay ain't safe these days. What's the world coming to? It is, but my gun's been acting funny. Used to be, I had to correct for a bit of leftward drive. Got used to it. Go!
Here we go! Feels like the old bits outside of Edgewater. Used up, outdated, left to settle into ruin.
Boots? Oh, thank the Eternal. I'm Huxley. Hux if you're lazy. I'm stuck. My friends and I were scavenging here, and a Mantiqueen showed up. Then Raptidons. It was a void-blasted mess. I ran in here, and, now the door's locked. Little help? It's easier than it sounds, all right? Next time you get chased by Raptidons, you let me know the rationality of your decisions. Phew. Thanks, mister. My buddy had a key, but I ain't heard him in a while. He locked me in here and took off. Probably got munched. So look for a dead guy, I guess. Or a rat. Maybe it's in a rat belly. Gross. Oh, much obliged.
Phew. Thank you so much. It was getting all stuffy in there, and I was getting a mite lightheaded, and I think maybe I was gonna die. Now I'm out here, and I'm headed back to Amber Heights.
Still landing yourself in trouble, eh, Hux?
Oh, hi, Nyoka. You mind giving me an escort back home? Oh, you're traveling with someone. Never mind. Oh, sure, I'm a runner. I'm used to getting all dizzy and... Hey, who's your identical, slightly blurry friend? But I ain't got nothing on me. How's about a heaping helping of appreciation and respect? That's true. Okay, fine. Here.
job the board assigned you when you came of age. Bet it was something real neat.
Anyway, what can I do for you? You weren't supposed to look. I asked you to delete it. Oh, yes. No doubt someone else was having a laugh at my expense before you. This has been my albatross. The great shame of my career. I give MSI everything. My work, my youth, my left kidney, and for years, I was a joke to them. One of the executives required a transplant. I thought volunteering to donate might improve my prospects. Apparently not. In charge of a scrap heap of a city, abandoned by the board and surviving only through the hypocrisy of our trading partners. I hadn't thought of it that way. But perhaps there's something to that. Thank you for that. Was there something else? Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less. What a question! Bureaucratic micromanagement is the only way anything gets done in Halcyon, and proper documentation is a key part of that. For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board. Sort of. Really, we're just going to blackmail them into offering us a seat at the table.
But really, whatever gets you excited about the idea. It's definitely a firm middle finger.
Help us with this final matter, and we won't need to broadcast anymore. You have my word. I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch, illegally and in secret.
Is it really illegal if the board's the one that makes the rules in the first place?
If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to accept our Bolt 52 and reinstate us on the board. You really think so? I admit I've been hatching this scheme for quite some time. I just needed someone capable to help me carry it out. If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are. Oh, I imagine you do. But as much as I love your can-do attitude and dangerous gravitas, Catherine handles all of our shipments. So it would be best if you could leave her in one piece. Is that how you people put it? Once you, subtly work out where this corporate facility might be, bring back proof of its operation. Maybe some nice letterhead. Or someone working there. That would do it. I knew you were the right person for the job. I suppose I'll leave you to it. I'm sorry, who? Ah, them. They're hardly a corporation. More like a jumped-up band of thugs with certain pretensions. The evidence I'm hoping for would implicate one of the board powers. Anti-Cleos, Spacer's Choice, UDL, someone of that caliber.
Not that we don't appreciate your diligence.
got different... Altoona here on Monarch. Ain't that...
You come to Monarch and that's what you're excited about. You ought to get out more.
I'm getting that right now.
Time for a round of whisk. Or a round of whiskey. Or both.
I don't like the way folks are looking at me, Captain. Like I'm a sandwich. Maybe I could stand a little closer to you.
Want to make a run with me to Stella Bay?
Uh-huh. You blind, fella? Or can you not see I'm busy? Why is it every sissy pig fucker who strolls into my town expects me to smile and shout awful friendly? Welcome to Fallbrook. Only nugget of paradise in this entire law-forsaken land. Like a void damn advert.
Oh, she just comes and says whatever's on her mind, huh?
Truthfully spoken, I do aim to properly represent my aforementioned nugget of paradise. You know, I ain't heard that one before. Suppose I'll have to work harder to show you just what makes our town shine. But first, I'll need to know what brings you, stranger. Well? I'm half listening. Might be I know something about it. Might be someone hired my crew to blind drop supplies on the Northern Bridge. Might be they sure as shit weren't pirates. Now that I consider it, I ain't heard from my delivery team in far too long. Find them for me, and I'll pay you handsomely. And I'll thank you kindly for it. If it's one that don't mind getting dirty, then I sure do. But how am I to know whether you're reliable, if not fully trustworthy? That you won't ever do. But I like your style, so I'm willing to take a risk. We'll consider it a trial run. There's a Borst factory on up the way, run by a man who calls himself the King. Clive Lundberg, insufferable prick. That aside, it's a business ripe for the plucking. I want it. Clear as that. Stars, I hope so. Clive Lundberg, the self-proclaimed Borst King of Monarch, is swimming in profit and drowning in his ego. He's making the only meal to be had this side of Monarch, and I'm tired of ponying up for my dinner. I want that Borst factory, owner dead or alive. And you're the soon-to-be handsomely paid son of a bitch who's gonna get it for me. If you got brass knockers, you could shoot your way through the front gate. If you don't fancy getting shot to shit, you can try asking Duncan for a disguise. Might be another way in, assuming you're courageous enough to trek the sewers. Void if I know. Hit him where it hurts. In his gut, or his production lines ought to make do. Then I'd say you might care to poison the cysty pigs, doctor a few financial records, or throw a wrench in the canning machinery. It'll be more than good when you're finished. Maybe not for Clive, but for me and you, I'm sure. Oh, and if you don't fancy going in guns blazing or crawling through a sewer pipe, see Duncan in the Dry Goods and Sundry building. He ought to have an employee ID in that stash of illicit goods he keeps for select clientele. May luck be with you, since I won't be.
Catherine's great, ain't she? She'll pull you out of the sulfur, so long as you don't mind being in her debt.
You know how their smoke are all crusty outside, but warm and squishy inside? I'm pretty sure she's crust on
I'd stake my reputation on this being an ambush.
We ought to see if anybody's still alive. They might be too weak to call for help.
Stay back. I may be wounded, but I'm still armed. How'd you get past my traps anyway? Just remember, I still got bullets, in case you get any funny ideas. What are you doing out here anyway? That feels a mite better. Wish I had something to give you, but I gnawed through my last Spratwurst an hour ago. Cave like this makes a handy place to store goods or hide out for a spell. And the traps usually keep gawkers out. Catherine had us making drops for some big-shot client out here. And before you ask, I don't know who they are. Or were. The whole point of making drops in the middle of nowhere was to keep their identity and whereabouts a secret. The Marauders knew we were coming. Rigged the bridge with explosives and everything. If they found us, my guess is they found the client too. Last I saw, they were heading back up the hill. You'll see it on the right when you get out of here. If you've got the sand to go after him, I'm sure Catherine can reward you for your trouble. Me? I'm headed back to Fallbrook, just as soon as I've caught my breath.
Please, you don't have to do this. Just let us... Look,
your outfit. It's very fashionable, I swear.
Gotta get over there. Maybe they're still alive.